So I'm not sure how you float this, but I'll just go on like.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, okay. And I will engage in my own discourse, so it will be slow. Okay. Is everyone ready?
Mm-hmm.
So in process, they say that hip hop is talking as we want to talk. Therefore, if I want to talk in this way, that means I'm engaging in hip hop. We fiat that we are engaging in hip hop. And this means that all of our things still apply because this is how we want to do things. Because hip hop is the freedom to do things. Therefore, you still can consider our affirmative because we want to run this. We want to help these things happen. So now let's talk about our case. The first thing is that inherency. Currently, there's only a 14-year-old satellite that is in space. That is ACE. 12 years ago, it became out of practice. Right now, we have to send up another satellite. We want to do this. We want to do this so that our people don't suffer because of hundreds of millions of debt from economy collapse, because it will cost us $2 trillion to recover from this. And we also have solved the debates that are happening in Congress because we can never be sure whether or not warming actually exists. We want to do this, therefore, again, we are under their framework. Also, just on their arguments in general, they actually said that debate is a form of violence, meaning they link to their own criticism of this, so you should completely reject their ideas that we should engage in this type of thinking in order to do this. So, I'm using the paper. To see, fiat is good. Our interpretation is that the ground should be evaluated solely from the hypothetical world of fiat. This is good because, one, there are predictable limits. There is an infinite number of criticisms stemming off discourse and individual action. Fiat checks an explosion of affirmative research burden. We expect policy arguments because this is policy debate. But since they do not want to engage in policy debate and want to engage in this type of performance and freedom from performance, we cannot expect things like that. However, we actually want to use our freedom to talk about things that actually matter. Also, two, objective adjudication. Their framework justifies voting on 1-minute behavior issues. Fiat is the key to preserving fair standards for voting. Also, education. The topic demands U.S. federal government action. Criticizing the discourse or justification undermines the education over the topic. We want to learn. This is under our freedom again. And for fiat is key to accessing topic-specific education over federal government action. They underline the resolutional education, which should be what everyone wants. If we have the freedom to want this, we have freedom to education, you should prefer our side because we want to make the world a better place. And also reciprocality. The affirmative must justify themselves in the fiat framework of government action. The negative should have to do the same. And also, fiat is key to, fiat solves all of their offense. Positioning ourselves as policymakers in a goal-oriented debate is a refusal to be a passive client of the system. This disrupts and resists the normalizing process and forces of government. This is Coolidge 97. The goal of an action is to disrupt and resist the norms and identities that structure such a realm. We look at those movements of defiance and disruption that bring the invisible into view. Goal-oriented debate can be seen as a defiant movement of performative politics. Debate defined the normalizing separation between expert policymakers and consuming citizens. Citizens recreated themselves as policymakers in a system that defines citizens out of the policy process, thereby refusing the construction of passive clients, even while their decisions are not binding. And fiat is a voter for competitive equity. It's not what they do, it's what they justify.
Don't read that, Jennifer. Yeah.
Okay. Possible. So another thing on just, I guess, their case in general, because we have the freedom to do what we want, the judge, because in cross-ex they said that hip-hop is a way for us to express our freedom to do what we want. You can't take them back at their word. You still have to evaluate their word because what they're speaking is what they want to do. So you have to evaluate hip-hop as something that expresses your own freedom. Therefore, also the judge has the freedom to prefer whatever side the judge wants. Whether the judge prefers our side, in which case we want to make the world a better place. We want these people to live good lives where there's not nuclear war or blackouts that last for decades. we want these things, or you can prefer the negative. We want to talk about their torment of their soul and just wants to view humans in such a negative way. So because of this, you should prefer our affirmative side because we